General Hospital, spoilers for Thursday, July 17th suggest that Sasha Gilmore Corbin, Sophia Matson, will fly with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, while Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, demands answers. Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrose, will also confront betrayal. So let's talk about what's next on the ABC serial. Felicia Scorpio, Christina Wagner, will pressure Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, to drop something immediately, but Anna will continue with her plans. Anna will also have a favor to ask, so Felicia may play a role in her ongoing investigation. Fans of General Hospital know Anna has been researching Vaughn's, Bryce Durfee, past, and she may eventually discover that he works for the World Service Bureau. Anna may think that Vaughn is cozying up to Jocelyn Jacks, Aiden McCoy, Professor Henry Hank Dalton's, Daniel Goddard, research assistant for information. However, Anna may assume that Jocelyn is also a member of the WSB. Jocelyn's secret may be in risk now that Anna is on her trail. According to General Hospital spoilers, Anna will have some suspicions that will eventually be proven correct, so keep an eye out for updates on her next move. Meanwhile, Professor Dalton will talk to Jocelyn about the exciting work that will begin soon. Jocelyn will be forced to think quickly and act, so we'll see if that means keeping Emma Scorpio Drake, Braden Bruner, from the lab or trying to gain access to it herself. He'll argue with Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning, rather than Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna. Lulu may believe Dante is being too kind to Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Setton, about the recent Brit Westbourne, Kelly Thibault, drama and how it affects Rocco Falconeri, Finn Carr. Lulu will also give Dante advice on what he should do to reclaim his son, so she may be able to help him reconcile with Giovanni Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza. Perhaps Lulu will urge that Dante should distance himself from Brooklyn because Gio is enraged over Rocco's pain. Rocco will wear a dress shirt and arrange his hair for Liesl Albrecht, Kathleen Gotti. After making preparations for this encounter off-screen, Rocco will be pleasantly surprised when Liesl arrives to answer his inquiries. Next, Sonny will seek answers concerning the lies published about him in the press, potentially putting Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, on the hot seat. Sonny will eventually be pressed to make a sacrifice, so we'll see if someone forces him to leave town or liberate Marco Rios, Adrian Anchondo. Nina is ready to confront Curtis' betrayal, because he has been flashing back to her secret and indicating that betraying a friend is necessary. Nina is going to face some consequences after Curtis uses Nina and Drew Kane's, Cameron Matheson, hidden passionate affair to get an advantage over Drew. During their flight with Daisy Gilmore, Levi Clark Coughlin, Sasha will have a deep chat with Jason, wondering if he ever considers what he might want. Jason is constantly busy rescuing the day and worrying about others, but Sasha may believe he should make time for personal satisfaction. Sasha may encourage Jason to hunt for love again before he meets someone who looks exactly like Brit Westbourne, Kelly Thibault, at the airport. According to General Hospital spoilers, Jason is about to receive shocking news, so don't miss it. According to General Hospital spoilers, Brit Westbourne's Kelly Thibault surprising return this Friday, confirmed by Jason Morgan's Steve Burton, discovery of her alive amid a throng during the July 14, 18GH previews, raises the prospect of a romance revival. Brit was presumed dead after Heather Weber's Allie Mills poison hook severed her arm in January 2023, a destiny she welcomed as an alternative to slowly dying from Huntington's disease, but her survival immediately reignites her old chemistry with Jason. It's written all over his face with just the preview. That expression on his face was not one of perplexity, but of optimism. As he deals with problems such as Daisy Corinthos Gilmore's, Levi Clark Coughlin, kidnapping and Sonny Corinthos Maurice Bernard fights, will Brit's return reignite their old romance, or will Jason's loyalties keep love at bay? General Hospital spoilers, Brit's return stirs up old sparks. Jason's glimpse of Brit is going to rekindle memories of their intense, ephemeral romance, highlighted by adrenaline-fueled exploits that led to his presumed death on Cassadine Island. Her return, whether as herself or a twin, may draw Jason back, especially since his present burden, protecting Sasha Gilmore Corbin, Sophia Matson, and Daisy, is lessened with Sasha's departure from town. If it's Brit, we can expect an explosive reunion with flirtation, but Jason's ties to Carly Spencer Laura Wright, who treats him like he's her backup plan, could complicate things. Will Brit's presence revive their desire? Or is their chemistry a thing of the past? Time and Port Charles will tell. Spoilers. Jason's heart battles with his duties. Britt's return, potentially motivated by Rocco Falconeri's Finn Francis Carr. Inquiries regarding his origin and Brooklyn Quartermain's Amanda Seton. Grudge against Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens. Adds emotional weight. Jason's role as Daisy's godfather, as well as his commitment to Sonny in the face of Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rota, cause him to be pulled in several directions. If Britt's return, perhaps with a bold effort to tell Jason where she has been and how she is alive, rekindles old sentiments, will he allow love in or prioritize his family obligations? General Hospital spoilers. Romance or roadblock? If Jason and Britt reconcile, it may disrupt his relationship with Carly or complicate Anna Devane's, Finola Hughes, sporadic interest in him. But we can be confident that Britt will not back down from anyone. Still, why would she survive and then avoid Port Chuck? Thinking Jason was gone, she may have felt like there was nothing left for her and desired a fresh start, leaving the past behind. Learning that he is alive may be as shocking to her as seeing her face is to Jason. Will Britt's return bring romance back into Jason's life, causing a blazing reunion? Or will his never-ending duties and Port Charles's upheaval prevent their love from rekindling? Keep checking back with us for more General Hospital news and spoilers. According to General Hospital spoilers, the streets of Port Chuck are filled with jaw-dropping intrigue as Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, reels from spotting Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibault, alive in a crowd during this week's JH previews, appending her presumed death from Heather Weber's, Allie Mills, poisoned hook over 2 years ago. But here's the twist. When Britt died, Jason was assumed dead as a result of a 2021 tunnel collapse, so she most likely feels he's also gone. Their mutual shock at each other's survival could spark a fiery reunion, but with Jason embroiled in Sasha Gilmore Corbin's Sophia Matson, crisis and Britt's return, possibly through Liesl Albrecht's Kathleen Gotti scheming, linked to Rocco Falconeri's Finn Francis Carr, birth scandal, will their past romance reignite, or crash under the weight of secrets? A mutual shock rocks Jason and Britt. Jason's encounter of Britt at a crowded airport would undoubtedly send him reeling, despite the fact that he is aware she died, and believes he died years ago. Their deep romance, cut short by his death, may reignite, but Britt's confusion at finding him alive will add levels of difficulty. With Jason preoccupied with Daisy Corinthos Gilmore's Levi Clark Coughlin, kidnapping and Sonny Corinthos Maurice Bernard, war zone at home, Britt's return could be linked to Rocco's inquiries concerning her embryo caper. Will their mutual shock ignite passion, or will their divergent paths keep them apart? Britt's return meets Jason's duties. Britt's survival, possibly arranged by Liesl, conflicts with Jason's role as Daisy's godfather and his preparations to take down Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rota. If Britt discovers Jason is still alive, her reaction may distract him from his other responsibilities, which is bad news for Sonny and Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson. Will their mutual revival pave the way for romance, or will Jason's devotion to people he cares about in Port Charles keep him anchored while Britt appears to be on the loose? General Hospital spoilers. Jason is shocked to see Britt alive, but don't forget, she believes he is also dead. A reunion, or a missed opportunity? This surprising reunion has the potential to rewrite the events of the previous 2 years. If Britt's homecoming involves Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrose, or Brad Cooper Perry Shun, the consequences could be far-reaching. Will Jason's surprise at seeing Britt alive, and her conviction that he is dead, spark a romantic resurgence, or will their entangled lives in Port Charles's drama keep their love buried in the past? Is there any way for these two to reconcile after being forced apart and find love again? Is this the love trump card that ultimately entices Jason, as Sam McCall Kelly Monaco previously did? Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to see how everything unfolds. Sasha could scarcely hear her breath through the beating of her heart. The noise of the plane's engines echoed around her, but it was insufficient to shut out the tempest raging in her mind. She kept her gaze fixed out the window, despite the fact that all she saw was blackness reaching across the sky. Anything was preferable to staring at Jason sitting across from her, calm and quiet as if nothing had happened tonight to disrupt her daily routine. His calm was deceptive, however. Sasha knew Jason Morgan didn't move unless he had a reason to, and she was wondering if his every muscle was tense because of her, or because of what awaited them once they arrived. She had not intended to leave Port Charles this way. Not now, when she believed her life was completely settled. She had buried her demons, or so she persuaded herself. She had convinced everyone else that she was strong and grounded again. But what's the truth? The reality was, her foundation had begun to break long before she ran. Long before Jason appeared with that look in his eyes, indicating that he was not there to beg. He was there to take her away. And she would allow him. Maybe she knew deep down that this was the only way to survive. Perhaps because the part of her that still trusted him despite everything refused to die. Jason hadn't said much since they boarded the private jet. And Sasha wasn't sure if that was because he was trying to stay off Sonny's radar, or because he didn't want to answer the questions that were burning in her throat. She twisted the ring on her finger. A nervous habit she thought she'd lost years ago. Every second felt like an eternity, and each flicker of turbulence made her stomach twist tighter. When she finally spoke, her voice sounded strange even to her own ears. "Where do we go?" she inquired, her voice barely above a whisper. Jason looked up, his blue gaze fixed but unreadable. "Somewhere safe." Safe. The word was supposed to be reassuring, but it was not. Not when safety meant fleeing Sonny Corinthos, her former guardian. The man who had treated her like family. The man she knew would do anything to find out why she was gone, and who helped her depart. She pushed her lips together, attempting not to let the terror emerge. Jason witnessed too much as it was. He didn't need another reason to regret bringing her along. "You know he's going to come after us," Sasha replied, her voice shaking despite her attempts to remain calm. "You know what this looks like." Jason's jaw tensed, and a quick spark appeared in his eyes before he glanced aside. "I know what I'm doing." But did he? Sasha was unsure if anyone knew what they were doing anymore. Not after what happened in Charlie's. Not after the debate devolved into something explosive. Sonny shouting, Nina crying, and secrets unraveling faster than anyone could keep up. Sasha had been in the wrong place at the worst possible time, and now she was banished in the night sky with a man who only spoke when absolutely necessary. Back in Port Charles, Sonny was far from silent. The sound of his fists slamming into metal reverberated throughout the warehouse, like gunshots. He couldn't believe it. Jason of all people had abducted Sasha and disappeared. No words, no warnings. Sonny couldn't put his feelings over the betrayal into words. Worse, it occurred at a time when he was already questioning everything. His business, his family, and his decisions. He gripped his phone so tightly that his knuckles became white, and dialed the number he promised he would never contact again. "Where is he?" Sonny demanded the moment the line connected, without waiting for a welcome. Brick's voice was calm and steady, as if he weren't speaking to a guy on the verge of volcanic wrath. "I'm looking for Sonny." No chatter, no trail yet. "That is not good enough." Sonny yelled and paced like a caged animal. "He took Sasha." "Why? Why would he take her?" Brick hesitated, and Sonny could hear it. The calculation, the decision to tell him the truth or not. "Do you think it's related to what happened tonight? What about Nina?" The name fueled Sonny's already ferocious rage. Nina. He had given everything to this woman. The woman who vowed honesty and swore there would be no more falsehoods between them. And then tonight, her betrayal had gone further than any gunshot could. He couldn't even digest the entire reality since the wrath overpowered the information. All he knew was that whatever between Sasha and Nina was related, and Jason had stepped in as a shield. Why? Why now when Sonny requires loyalty more than ever? "Find them," Sonny commanded, his voice low and vicious. "Find them before I do something I can't take back." But even as he barks the order, a part of him knows it's not that easy. Because if Jason had chosen this, if Jason had abducted Sasha to protect her from Sonny, it's possible that everything Sonny thought he knew about loyalty was wrong. The thought made his chest ache in a way he refused to describe. Meanwhile, Nina sat in her penthouse, her hands shaking so badly she couldn't hold the glass of wine she'd poured. She told herself she needed it to calm her anxiety, but nothing could do that now. Sonny's expression as the truth was revealed was burnt into her brain, like a scar she'd never be able to remove. She had seen him get angry before, but this was different. This was blatant betrayal, and she knew it. She had crossed a line that she could never undo. And the worst part? She wasn't sure whether she regretted it. She placed her fingers against her temples, attempting to block out the noise in her head, but it was ineffective. Each thought was a scream. Every beat of her heart was a countdown until the moment Sonny walked back through the door. Will he forgive her? Can he? Is this the end of everything they've built? Then there was Jason, austere and unreadable, sweeping Sasha away like a dark night. Nina didn't comprehend it, and she didn't have to. All she had to do was endure what happened next. Back on the plane, Sasha squirmed in her seat, unable to sit still. Jason, she asked, her voice shaking despite her determination. Why are you doing this? He remained silent for quite some time. He simply stared at her with those eyes that revealed nothing and everything at the same time. Then he concluded, because you're in the middle of something that's going to get you killed if you stay. Her stomach sank. Something? What is it? Jason did not respond, and his silence told her more than words ever could. Whatever this was, it was larger than her. Bigger than Sonny. Larger than all of them. For the first time since agreeing to leave, Sasha worried whether she'd gotten herself into a situation from which she could never get out. The jet cut into the darkness, carrying secrets that may devastate Port Charles. On the ground, Sonny's rage became icy and keen, the kind of rage that didn't burn out but hardened into retribution. Nina's tears flowed freely, each one proving that she had gambled and lost. In the skies, Jason and Sasha sailed into an unknown future, joined together by desperation, treachery, and a truth neither of them was prepared to confront. Because it wasn't only about loyalty anymore. This was about survival. Surviving in Port Charles was always expensive. Jason Morgan has had a life full of danger, loyalty, and emotional reserve. Since Britt Westbourne's abrupt departure from Port Charles and her tragic death, Jason has kept much of his inner life hidden. However, hints of her return, whether real or a delusion, dream, or a twist of fate, rekindle old worries about whether a rekindled relationship could draw Jason back into the realm of romance he's worked so hard to avoid. Britt was unlike any previous woman Jason had allowed into his guarded heart. She provided Jason with a rare type of honesty and comfort, since she was fierce, smart, and fully unafraid of his true self. Their friendship was formed in the face of adversity, when neither of them could afford to give up trust so easily. Though their romance was brief, it made an indelible impression, especially on Jason, who does not fall lightly or frequently. Since Britt's departure, Jason has mostly avoided deeper relationships, preferring duty over love, and using danger as a shield to protect himself from future loss. If Britt returns to General Hospital, Jason's emotional stakes could rise dramatically. It's not just about the chance of rekindled love. It's about Jason's willingness to feel again. He's a guy driven by devotion and responsibility, but Britt made him wonder what he really wanted out of life besides his commitments to Sonny and the Corinthos family. Her homecoming may compel him to confront the part of himself that yearns for connection, even if he is too disciplined to express it out loud. Britt's personal complexities only contribute to the opportunity for a reunion. She was not a damsel in distress. Her background was full of secrets, mistakes, and a hard road to atonement. That progression paralleled Jason's own internal conflict, how to reconcile who he is with who he could become if he allowed himself to grow beyond his mob enforcer duty. In many ways, Britt revealed a softer, more human side of Jason that fans rarely saw. With her back in the picture, that vulnerability may resurface, especially if she has returned wiser, stronger, and still has feelings for the man she previously cared so strongly about. Complications would probably ensue. There is history to traverse, not only between Britt and Jason, but also with others such as Carly, who has always played an important role in Jason's life. Will Carly regard Britt's return as a danger or a blessing? Would Jason be divided between his past allegiance and a more emotionally rewarding future? And with foes constantly lurking in the shadows of Port Charles, love is more than just hearts and flowers. It's about survival. Finally, if Britt reappears in Jason's life, it will not just be a continuation of their previous relationship. It would be a test. Can Jason love again? Can he open himself up to something real after losing everything? And is Britt the one who can help him find not only romance, but also a part of himself that he buried in her memory? Only